Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, you jerks.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
That too.
That's what Santa says, right?
Not in this movie.
Not in this movie.
Oh, yeah. He never gives us one ho?
No, he goes, ha, ha, ha.
Oh.
No, he gets us some
I don't remember any hoes.
Anyway, so it's the holidays, and we are going to do a horror gift exchange here. We're going to do a white elephant. Is that what it is? White elephant? Yeah. Horror gift exchange.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got a pile of horror items in this bag, and we're going to pull one out, and then we're going to go around the room until all of us have a gift. And in the typical rules, you get a gift. The next person who draws, they can either swap for the previous gift that someone has already gotten or pull a new gift. And then we go until everyone has got what they want out of the three.
All right, John, what do you want to see come out of this bag?
Oh, man. Personally, I'm hoping for Freddy's glove.
One Freddy's glove.
One Freddy's glove.
I want a Red Ryder BB gun.
Oh, you'll shoot your eye out.
Oh, I already have. I don't know, I'm missing both. I'm blind. All right. What are we doing? We're drawing our names here?
No, this is not your name. This is the item.
Oh, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's going first?
You go first. Go ahead. Spirit of the holidays. Let's
mix them up here a little bit.
They were pre-mixed.
I did that, but
shit.
go ahead.
Well, no, they're even more mixed. Sentinel Sphere.
From Phantasm.
Phantasmonious.
Oh, that's a solid
How
one.
about that?
Now, just because it has a name doesn't mean that it's a specific type of one. It can be any version of it you want. I don't know if there's multiple Sentinel spheres.
There is. There's one with the eyeballs on it, and then there's the one with the knives.
I'm assuming one that can kill you. These are all supposed to be things that can hurt you.
I want the classic one with the drill that goes straight into your head, and then you just get a gusher of blood.
The forks with the drill.
Correct. All right.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
John, you can either steal the Sentinel Sphere or you can pull a new item.
This is a tough choice. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go with a new item.
Okay.
I know it's a risk. It might be a downgrade, but let's see what we got here. Annabelle doll. Oh.
You got an
Sucker.
Annabelle doll.
Yeah, I do wish I had switched for the sphere. Sphere will kill somebody else. Annabelle doll gonna kill me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, these are all things that can hurt you. You don't actually necessarily have control of them. This is just the gift you have.
I thought Mark was
I thought I was the
controlling.
controller of
Oh,
the
no.
ball.
You just have one in your possession. You don't know who controls it. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's the tall man.
I better get a cage.
Yeah, a Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
Okay, so so I'm going to pull an item, and I think at this point, once we pull an item, once we all three, I'm going to go ahead and say we can go wild card, and if anybody just wants to switch it out, we can just do full swaps.
Okay.
Until everyone's happy with what we got, and then at the end, I'll tell you what we didn't get. I pulled a gremlin,
One whole gremlin.
one whole gremlin, not a mogwai.
Oh, I was about
but
to
a
ask.
gremlin.
So already
It's
a
the
gremlin.
bad versions. It's always the bad versions. So I have a gremlin.
Straight up classic, or is it lightning or tomato?
Oh no, we're talking like Gremlins 1.
Gremlins 1.
Just
OG.
real jackass gremlin.
Now, could they multiply?
Oh,
No,
they could. Remember the water. Remember the water gets in the back and they pop out like little
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Man, I'm getting rusty on my gremlin
Yeah.
lore.
Yeah, you're going to have to rewatch them. They're on a streaming service. I
Hey, stream.
I
I
don't-
rewatched part 2 recently.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it's
I
on.
think
but-
we think we talked about Gremlins though, didn't we?
That was our first episode.
Yeah, we did a couple
2
holiday
years
movies.
ago.
Holy crap.
That was our first episode, Christmas horror. We talked about
Jeez.
Gremlins
Boy.
1 and the lady with her dad stuffed
and Black
in the
Sunday
chimney.
or Black Christmas.
Black Sunday.
Black
Yes,
Sunday. different horror movie.
Black Christmas, that's right.
Well, I'm not swapping. I am happy with Sentinel Sphere.
I would give up Annabelle doll. I think I'm...
I definitely do not want an Annabelle doll anywhere in my
Darn.
house, so I'm going to. Mark, you sure you don't want to switch for a Gremlin?
No.
Okay, well then here we are. This is what we got.
Interdimensional sphere.
Now here's a couple other things that we could have gotten had we pulled it. We could have gotten a Cube of Lamentation.
Oh,
That would've been better.
Yeah.
All right.
Except it would have been pretty painful.
But only if you opened it.
Oh, yeah. Just put it behind some glass.
Bingo.
You're good.
Curiosity, you're going to open it. We could have got a cat that has been brought back from the dead, a la Pet Cemetery.
Ooh,
Don't want that.
no.
No good.
We also had a Necronomicon.
Ooh,
Oh.
man. Okay, I kind of want that one.
More than the cube?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have a good guy possessed Chucky doll.
Ooh.
So
That's a lot of trouble.
I
That's
didn't
a lot of
put I
trouble.
didn't put the Jason mask or the Freddy glove in there because again, those are just accessories
Fair.
that these people use. These are items that can legit like
Harm.
be horror and mess your life up.
I wonder with the Necronomicon, do you have to read it aloud? If I just read it in my head.
Ooh, does it
Yeah.
count?
Yeah.
As saying it.
You have to read it aloud.
Okay, so actually I might want the Necronomicon. That'd be an interesting read.
You can read the whole thing and just have it all up here.
Yeah.
But then you could never accidentally say it out loud.
I feel like, though, I wouldn't ever accidentally speak those words.
Would you keep yours wrapped in a trash bag with barbed wire?
Yeah, at the minimal. And then lots of signs, and probably also in a safe.
Well, if you had a Christmas party, someone might come over and stupidly read the damn thing, and then all of a sudden you've created an Evil Dead Christmas.
Fair, yeah. Oh, man, I'd like to see that.
It can't be burned, though, right? Isn't that right? It can't be burned?
No.
I was going to say, you can just put it in water and all the ink will run off of it.
Oh, I'd put it in a safe. Yeah.
And I believe in the series you can stab it with a sacrificial dagger to do damage to it.
Okay.
Where does one get a sacrificial dagger?
Evil Dead, the series.
Got it. Right. Okay.
You have to already have one.
Well, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, fellas.
For he's a jolly good Wait, that's a New Year's song.
Yeah.
That's a week away.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Merry Christmas and happy 2 years for this podcast. And if anyone has been listening for that long, thank you.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're sorry and thank you.
Well, thanks for sticking with us, and let's get into today's holiday horror movie.
Those sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight. We're happy tonight. Skanking in a winter wonderland.
Hey, all you creatures from cyberspace. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the GraveTalk podcast. My name is Mark, again joined with John and Garrett. Happy holidays, fellas. How we doing on this festive day?
I'm doing great, festive-y.
Were you good this year?
Well, I don't really celebrate Christmas. I'm more of a Festivus guy.
Are you a happy holidays guy?
No, man.
What side of the war are you on?
It's all about tinsel.
boy.
And no tinsel. It's distracting. It's all about aluminum poles. And
Tinsel's annoying as shit.
Listeners, help me.
and airing of grievances. No, happy holidays. I'm doing fine. Merry Christmas. Whatever floats your boat. I actually literally don't think about it. And now that you asked me, I don't know what I say. When if I'm just prompted to say it, I actually do not know.
You ever thought we'd be at a point in history where you could offend somebody by saying one phrase of encouragement and joy?
No.
Yeah,
I just say read your audience.
Yeah.
that's fair.
You know, you kind of, if someone's been vocal about their bullshit, then just, give them what they want.
I think it's all fake outrage anyways. Who gives a shit? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Hot takes by Mark.
Good day Hanukkah, whatever they say.
I believe it's
I'm sure
happy.
that's exactly how they... Good day Hanukkah,
I believe
sir.
it's happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, it's happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
And
all
happy
our Jewish
Kwanzaa.
listeners.
Yep.
How are we doing? We got anything new to talk about? Anything you've watched you want to bring up?
Well, at time of airing, it'll be very old probably, but I watched In the Tall Grass.
So we're not going to go with the illusion that we're recording on Christmas Eve.
Oh, no. Look,
We're live on the street right now.
listeners, I'm glad that you're listening, but also I would never record on Christmas Eve. But In the Tall Grass, interesting film. When I first was watching it, I was like, oh, okay. Stephen King and apparently his son really hates corn. But it is not Children of the Corn Part 2 or some sort of shitty remake. It's its own standalone thing, and it works very, very well.
Is it in the Children of the Corn universe?
No, it's just other different scary grass.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is corn grass?
No, it's just grass. Because I'm a city person, I didn't even recognize that grass grew that tall. And I had to ask my wife, I was like, you think that's corn? She's like, what? No, it's just grass. Apparently, grass can grow very, very tall if left to its own devices.
We've driven through Texas. There's places in Texas where the grass gets that high.
I guess I would have just looked at it and been like, oh, that must be corn.
As John said, he's city folk. He don't know nothing about grass.
It's all corn as far as the eye can see.
Unless told otherwise, I assume every field is either corn or wheat. I can recognize wheat.
What about cotton? Have you not seen a cotton
Oh, I
field?
have seen cotton fields, and I've also seen sugar from when I lived in Florida. So that's it. Those are my 4 things.
Sunflowers.
Yeah, but have you ever seen a field of sunflowers?
Yeah.
No, me
I have.
either.
Oh, nice. Right
In
on.
Texas?
Yeah. South Texas, they got them.
I'm sure they exist.
I
haven't seen them.
Okay, good to know. Well, more on plant talk.
Let's talk more about botany. No,
Yeah.
what is the corn grass too tall? What is it called?
The tall grass.
Yes, what is this about?
Well, I don't want to spoil it because it is a twist type show, so that might even be a spoiler. I don't know. People are so touchy these days. But anyway, you get enticed to walk into this grass, and once you lose sight of the road, you cannot escape. And the grass kind of guides you and tricks you and plays all kinds of weird shit on you. And then
That grass is a real scamp. You know what I'm saying?
and then as the movie progresses, you do figure out, Garrett, you'll like this, some of the backstory and why this is happening.
Good.
Yes. And then there's an ending that I really would like to talk about, but I'm not going to spoil it because I have a gazillion questions.
You describing this just makes me think of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, where that kid was walking circles in the cornfield.
It is similar to that, but more.
Okay. So it's like they took that scene and then just fleshed it out.
Yes, very much so. I could see
Recommended?
that. Yes, I would highly recommend it, especially because it's on Netflix. Everybody has Netflix.
The trailer looked really good.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer for it and I was like, okay, I might actually want to watch this.
It's a very enjoyable watch.
Any notable people in it?
Oh man, I'm the worst with actors and actresses.
Did you recognize any faces?
No.
Okay.
Does not mean that they're not famous,
there's
by the way.
You'll know two of the people. I can't remember their names, but you'll know two of the people when you see them. Like, I think one of the older men is someone you've seen in like...
He felt vaguely recognizable.
Yeah, he felt like a Scott Aukerman level, like famous. You know, you'll recognize him in some stuff. But
I am so bad at this. Like every time I see a movie, it may as well be the first time I've ever seen anybody in it. Like,
y'all heard about this guy Nicolas Cage?
yeah. Unless it's like the grade A celebrities, I'll know. Anyone outside of that, I'm like, no.
Jesus Christ, John. It's got the guy from Conjuring, Patrick Wilson.
Yeah,
that's who it is. I knew I recognized him. I told you I'm really shitty at this. He does a great job, by the way. And
he's really good in almost everything. I've never seen him in a bad thing.
To make it extra embarrassing, he's literally one of the main people in this movie. He is the main guy.
All right. So recommended. Check it out on Netflix. Garrett, you got anything?
I went back and watched the Hellboy movie again.
The one you said that was super no good.
Yes.
Is it still super no good?
It's growing on me.
Oh.
It's growing on me. I watched this movie, and there definitely are issues, and there's definitely parts I wish were done a little bit differently. But upon a second watch, not having the expectations that I had, not expecting this super gritty, dark, hard, type, movie, it really is. It's not bad. It's really kind of, it really made me upset that we're not going to get more. Now, again, I have some major issues with this movie, but upon a second rewatch, it really bummed me out that we're probably not going to get more of these, because looking at the way it looks, the feel of it, I love the universe that it created. And David Harbour is actually a pretty solid Hellboy. I think once they get a little more comfortable with the script writing and stuff like that, we could see a little more like depth and plot to these characters. But
right, if they do, since they're not.
But the thing is, like going back and rewatching it really made me like remember like the feel of the books. Like everyone knows the art style and stuff like that, but the books are kind of lighthearted at times, and there's are like just chock full of like, oh, this little reference, I would, if you've seen it, I would rewatch it, because it has a different take the second time you watch it. You have a little bit better expectation on it. But I did rewatch that. I would say I liked it a lot more this time. I still wouldn't place it as a must watch, but it's pretty solid.
So if you see it streaming somewhere, don't hesitate.
I would say if you see it streaming, definitely check out Hellboy.
Cool. It was mentioned a while back that the Wes Craven estate has regained the Nightmare on Elm Street rights, and it sounds like they are now asking people to come with them for movie ideas in a potential HBO Max television series.
It's an HBO Max television.
Okay, so right now there's HBO Go and HBO Now. That's going to be morphed into HBO Max in 2020. That's going to add the content of like Adult Swim, TBS, TNT.
So another streaming network,
yes,
if you will.
Another option for you to subscribe to.
Yay. I like the idea of more Freddy movies, a Freddy TV show.
I am not interested in that.
An anthology might be interesting. I don't know that I want to watch a bunch of teenagers fail to kill Freddy for, 8 episodes or 13 episodes or something.
You want to give me an hour-long, every quarter short film? I'm in.
Yeah.
But I do not want a weekly TV show.
Come out. What about like an 8 episode? Here's the whole thing. Drops on your subscribe network.
That would be all right.
That's still too much.
That's too
though.
much.
It's just even like you learn everything you need to know about Freddy in a single movie.
True.
The only thing you're there for are the unique kills and what they're going to do to like combat him. Like you can cover that in an hour and a half, 2 hours if you want to get real nuts with it.
And ultimately, to be honest, like hearing that the estate's like, come to us with your ideas, like that doesn't give me a lot of confidence.
I actually like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
like that.
There's a lot of people out there with some fresh ass ideas that might completely revitalize this franchise.
Plus, just because they own the rights don't mean they're creative, right? I respect that they're like, look, this isn't our game. We don't know how to make a Freddy movie.
I'm not saying there's not good ideas out there, but I don't know if I trust them to choose the right one. What if it's like, hey, we'll do it for a lot less money, and then all of a sudden we get a lesser script?
You run that risk of a famous person who's written it. I mean, look at like some of the people who've like gotten the rights back to things and gone back and regained their series, and you're just like, why? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine, here's my guess, I'm calling it now, it's going to be another one of those where starting immediately after the first movie, all the rest of the sequels don't count.
I'll be quite honest with you. If they started after the third one, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I would love for them to keep Dream Warriors, totally.
That one needs to stay because it's considered the best one by a lot of people. So
the theme these days is just, let's pick up after 1 and start over. But it would be legit to start after 3, actually.
Ultimately, I just like to see Robert Englund get to do it one more time. Like, that's all that I really want out of a Nightmare franchise. And then after that, I'd be okay if they closed the books on it and left it alone. But that's just me.
I'm open for someone else to try it. You know, it's just, this got to do it. They got to give them good content. I think that the remake just wasn't the right vehicle. I feel like, was it Jackie Earl Haley, right? Yeah, I think he could have done it if he had a better script and more to work with.
I thought he was a great Freddy, but yeah, the movie was kind of eh.
Yeah.
I would have changed his visual appearance.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
It looked okay.
But it wasn't as bad, I think, as people make it out to be. But I understand it does deviate very much from the traditional Freddy look. But
again, I think there's some crazy ideas out there. I mean, as long as they don't send Freddy to space,
man.
like that's the one thing. Like, I don't want that. Like let's just have too much fun with it, like that kind of thing. Like, I want you to bring a real like solid feel to the franchise, but
it's got to be split, right? I think the A story, the Awake story does. The B story should be farcical. I think that's what makes.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I don't want to like it's all campy fun.
Yeah,
like, I don't want everything to be campy fun. I want even the dream stuff that was scary but fun was still like creepy as hell, like the worm face and all that stuff like that. I mean, you're like, that's goofy in theory, but like that's freaky looking as I'm seeing.
But I'm thinking like about like Dream Warriors specifically, right? Like one of the people was a wizard, right? And it still worked. It was cool because it was in the dream.
But again, that made sense in context. That wasn't like, let's just have fun, goofy camp with it. That was just like, this character would be a wizard.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know why I didn't think of this
Boxes
sooner.
are brief, gentlemen. No.
If you started dreaming of Freddy and then you woke up and then went to the moon, would you still dream of Freddy that you're no longer near Elm Street?
Yes, we see in 6, I think it's 6, the final nightmare, that it follows the person. And we also see that in the remake too, where that...
so there's no distance that he can't get you.
I mean, the franchise has never gone interstellar. But at least within the continental United States, it does seem like, yes, he can get you.
I just didn't know how
you have a
tied...
passport, you're saying.
I just didn't know how tied to Elm Street, or what is it,
Yeah, it's Elm Street, but yeah, I think it's Springfield, Springwood.
Yeah,
but
I didn't know how tied to his location he was.
They free him from that, I think around 4 or 5, where he ultimately successfully kills all the original children, and then it's just open season, essentially.
I'm just saying, give us Insidious 5, and they run across Freddy. In the
He's hanging out listening to Tiny Tim.
Welcome back to Freddy Talk.
Yeah. Let's get into today's movie. What are we talking about, gentlemen? Christmas
Evil
from 1980.
Yes.
That movie has a very 1980s look to it. Probably because it's from that year.
Yeah, well, I agree with you there, Mark. It does look like the year it was filmed in.
Well, John and I watched this on YouTube.
We sure did.
Because I came across this movie on like your top 10 Christmas horror movies or whatever. I saw it pop a couple times and I watched the trailer and I was like, well, that looks just interesting. Not knowing anything about this, couldn't find it streaming anywhere, and then found it on YouTube. So I was like, here you go, guys. And then, Mark, you were kind enough to let us know last night. It's on Shudder.
Yeah. On YouTube, it looks like what it probably looked like when you were watching it on a 13-inch television in 1981.
You want to relive the experience? Go to YouTube.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we watched on... Did yours have ads on YouTube?
No, I'm a sucker, and I do pay for the YouTube Premium, whatever, because I actually do watch an embarrassing amount of YouTube. So there's a holiday revelation for y'all. I watch way too much fucking YouTube.
So this one was directed by Lewis Jackson, who only had 3 directing credits. Nothing I recognize, but I really like the title of this movie, so I thought I'd mention it. The Transformation, a Sandwich of Nightmares.
Ooh.
Oh, put that one on the list. I got to know about a nightmare sandwich.
What's in the nightmare sandwich?
Mayonnaise. Done.
That's a nightmare.
You take that
nothing,
back.
There's nothing but mayonnaise in it.
No, it's just a mayonnaise sandwich.
Oh, that would be
Gross.
gross. Okay.
On burnt toast.
Oh, I thought you meant
God.
if the sandwich had mayonnaise at all, but just a pure mayo sandwich?
For me, mayonnaise at all ruins the sandwich, but
I hate mayonnaise, so
What is
don't want it on my
wrong?
sandwich. Keep that away
Jesus.
from my ham.
I didn't know I was really doing this podcast with sandwich heathens.
I also say happy holidays.
fight.
Mark, I got to ask you, are you now or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? Because I'm starting to think yes.
All right, calm down, McCarthy. We're well past that era.
Well, I'm glad we watched this because this is John Waters' recommendation for his favorite Christmas Thanksgiving movie.
Okay.
That's very interesting because wasn't it like Elvis Presley's favorite movie was The Black Christmas from 1974 or
Yes,
something like
yeah.
that?
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, God. I
go
didn't know
back to
that.
episode 1, listeners, and you can find that fun fact. Here's my quote. This is the best Christmas horror movie from 1980 that's currently streaming on YouTube.
You say that definitively. Are you sure?
I am positive that of that criteria, this movie, number 1.
Well, you heard it. Watch it on Shudder, though. Don't bother with YouTube.
I do not know if it's the best Christmas horror movie from 1980 on Shudder. I do not make that claim. Only YouTube.
Well, this one stars Brandon Maggart as Harry Stadling, Jeffrey DeMunn as Philip Stadling, Diane Hull as Jackie Stadling, and Andy Fenwick as Dennis Stadling. Here's what the back of the VHS has to say about Christmas Evil.
Demon Sultan as a thought bubbles in confusion, center of the universe, sprouting foul protrusions.
So the tagline on this VHS is, better watch out, better not cry, or you may die.
Whoa, that's so clever.
As a boy, he saw Mommy making love to Santa Claus. Not quite.
That's a very loose interpretation, but okay.
As an adult, he is a crazed killer who has kept a list of all the girls who have been good and all the girls who have been bad.
Wait, does it say just girls?
That's what the box says.
Reading it verbatim here.
Jeez.
It's Christmas time and all the bad girls are in trouble. I feel awkward reading
Did they
this.
watch the same movie we did? Or-
A man dressed as Santa Claus is stalking the streets, brutally murdering innocent girls. I can't even get through this.
This is so wrong.
Listeners, males die in this film too. I don't know what this is all about. Who's to say if the kindly old gent whose knee your daughter sits upon is a maniacal?
Ooh, stop. Okay,
Oh,
we're done.
wow.
We're done with this bag.
No,
Is
we've
this
got to
legit?
finish it.
Okay,
Is a maniacal murderer.
Yes. What an awful back. This may be the worst one I've ever read. Who's to say this kindly old gent whose knee your daughter sits upon is a maniacal murderer? This has broken my brain. I'm not reading it again. Maniacal murderer.
Listeners, we often wonder, did they watch the same movie? Like, this is the most serious case where I'm like, I think they made a mistake.
I don't even. I'm pretty sure this is a legit box because it looks like something that would have come from that time frame. I don't even know what Saturn VHS is, but
Yeah. I mean, it looks legit. Full frame video print.
sometimes I'll come across these custom made ones. So I'm just hoping it's not one of these. But I mean, this looks like it's real. All right. Well, that's a terrible box. He's not just killing girls.
Yeah. I don't.
He doesn't see Santa Claus make love to his mother.
He's not keeping a list of whether the girls have been good or bad. It's just any kids.
Yeah. I'm going to jump right into wondering about the very basic premise of this movie. If as a child you saw what this character saw, any variation of it, some way of Santa Claus and your mom getting it on, do you think it would have broken your brain to the point where now you want to kill people on Christmas?
No.
I think there's more going on to this, but no,
Yeah.
because there's been plenty of kids who have accidentally walked in on their parents or, seen
Right.
a sexual scene on TV. Now, granted, that's different than like walking in your parents or something like that. But usually the kids ask questions. Usually there's a discussion. The birds and bees things happen. Eventually you understand what's what. And
Right. Eventually you would just grow up. I acknowledge it could probably traumatize you as a child,
yeah.
but eventually you're going to be this guy's age, which is 30s, 40s, and you'll be a grown up and be like, oh yeah, that was just my parents being adults.
Well, there's
whatever.
a line at the end where he's talking to his brother and he's like, he blames his brother for
Yeah.
just saying Santa Claus didn't exist. Like, that's the reason he's this way. It has nothing to do with his mom and his dad, who was dressed as Santa, like macking down on each other. Like that was the inciting incident. But like basically he's more upset and like at his brother, like you said Santa never existed, and I'm proving to the world that they do want Santa. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude?
At any point in time, did the movie come out and say that was definitely his dad as Santa Claus? Because
Well,
I feel like it didn't.
The brother did, like, that was dad. And he was like, no, Santa really exists. He's like, no, that was our dad.
And just to clarify, she's not making love to him. Santa's kissing her leg.
No, Santa's eating her out, dude.
Yeah, that's what I got out of that.
Because he pulls her close. Like, there's a scene where, like, you just see, like, her leg, like, his hand and his leg, like, get pulled into face and crotch area.
No, I know it's implied, but it doesn't show.
No, you're not
Oh,
seeing,
yeah,
like, full on, but, like, it's implied that, like, Santa's going down on his mom.
But, I would.
But he runs away immediately. The moment,
Right,
like,
he didn't see
the
anything
moment, like,
that
Santa
graphic.
pulls, like, his mom to him, the kid's like, deuces, I'm out. And it's
Yeah.
like, so you didn't really see much of anything other than Santa and your dad, or your dad Santa and mom
Right.
getting lewd.
I feel like as a kid, you'd mostly have been confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that age, too.
Yeah.
Right, or you see he's like, what's happening down there? Like, no, he just runs away and goes to the attic.
Runs upstairs, grabs his Christmas snow globe, drops it, says Rosebud. No, he doesn't say Rosebud. Then he takes a piece of the glass and cuts his hand. So he basically now associates pain with his memory, I guess. Or that's what we're supposed to believe.
I don't understand why any child would cut himself.
Yeah.
Because he's so disillusioned and upset by what he's seen. Santa Claus, mommy wasn't just kissing Santa Claus. Okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like,
but he's too young, especially theoretically this happened in 1947. He is too young to know what was happening.
that house definitely looked like a 1960s, 70s
Oh,
house.
dude,
too.
the house, it was like 1947. I had to like pause it and rewind it. And I was like, really? Because that house was just like a 1980s suburban house. It had like plastic siding.
But yeah, so he runs upstairs, cuts himself. And so now he's got that memory of, which I thought like, oh, he's scarred by the idea of Santa getting down with his mom. But no, at the end of the movie, we find out when he has to talk with his brother that he's just more upset that his brother convinced him that Santa's not real. And I think that scene was to show him that, oh, that really was my dad. Santa isn't real. And then he cuts himself, but it's not portrayed that way in the movie.
Yeah.
It looks like he's just more annoyed that Santa's like getting down with his mom.
Very confusing.
But anyway, smash cut to 1960,
Well, it's just
70.
present, but it's meant to be, I think, 1980.
The movie doesn't really give us anything that happens after that. I'm sure the mother would have been like, why'd you cut yourself? Did none of this ever come up in the next 40 years of this man's life?
I thought-
And then he's working at a toy factory.
I thought when you said the movie doesn't give us anything after that, you just meant about the plot. And I was about to agree. I was like, yes, nothing, like it feels like nothing happens for like 40 more minutes.
Because we smash cut to him waking up in his bed. He gets up and he's got a pile of dolls in the corner, which was really weird. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, that's bizarre. But then he wakes up, he goes to the bathroom, puts on shaving cream to look like a white Santa beard, and he's like, ho, 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 ho in the mirror. And you're
So
like, what is
weird.
wrong with this dude?
I don't really see the connection of a terrible event associated with Christmas that would lead a man into a business where he has to deal with it. And he works at a toy factory. Like, how would that line cross? You think he would want to avoid the whole holiday there on in?
I think what we're doing is like he loves Christmas and Santa and all that idea so much. He's willing to
why?
power through it just to be like, I've got to keep this going.
I just didn't get that from the movie. Like, why he would be so into it after that horrific event where he cuts himself.
Yeah, I wouldn't work at a mayonnaise factory with
Yeah.
my hatred of
The
mayonnaise. I would
movie
be like,
didn't have
nope.
time to explain. It had to show us, him making toys for like 7 minutes and other important scenes, dude. Also, thankfully, only an hour and 30 minutes. So.
Yeah, because he works at Jolly Dreams Toy Factory where they make toys, and then we get this like moment where he's standing there with his knee up, and like everyone's sitting around him, and he's like, "We used to make good toys. We used to make toys that kids loved. Aren't you guys tired of making inferior product? Don't you want to make something good?" And it's like, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na, like the battle hymn of the, it's just it's like this like
The piccolo starts playing the
It's this
music.
great, like, momentous, like, inspirational speech.
Nobody here is interested in good toys.
That includes me. Me too.
I can understand that. You've never felt the thrill of making a good toy. Now, how could you in this place? But I bet you got kids, right?
2, 5.
Don't you understand how useful rigidly constructed toys are? How inspirational? Their value goes way beyond making money.
Any word who's getting laid off in January, Harry?
Laid off?
Hey, Harry, here you got a promotion. You're not on the line anymore. Now you don't get to make them. You just have to manage, and he's like really bummed about that.
If Santa Claus was real, he would have earned his junior wings. He would have been like a honorary elf. You know what I mean? This guy is like exudes the Christmas spirit, like to the T.
Yeah.
Like good, bad, the book, all of it. Like he's in 800%.
Yes.
But
not in like a cool way, like Will Ferrell and Elf, like, real creepy kind of way.
Oh, because right before he goes to work, we see him on the roof of another building with binoculars peeping into little kids' like windows.
Yeah.
And this, I was like, oh God, I hope this movie is not what I think it is. Like, I was really like, I'm gonna have to turn this off. But like,
if you own a pair of binoculars, you're a creep. Whether or not you're looking at birds or whatever, you're a weirdo. You don't need those.
Yeah, take that, binocular owners.
Take that, ship captains who need to see far off in the distance. Periscopes are nothing.
No, telescopes even. Really far away things are okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like staring at these kids and you're like, oh, what is going on here? But what he's doing is he's spying on the kids to keep a naughty and nice list, which kids are being good and taking out the trash and doing their homework. And then he catches one kid like cutting out a naked lady out of a magazine, and he runs back inside and he's got these two massive tomes, one that says naughty kid or bad kids list and one that says good kids list, and he writes down like updates, because I was like, oh, this is going to get weird and sexual. God, I hope not. But no, he's just keeping tabs on the kids, like he's just pretending to be Santa Claus.
Look, I would not sentence that with he's just, because it's also weird.
No, it's totally weird. It's totally, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, the movie throws you for a loop.
Yeah,
like,
it definitely does.
Oh, this is going to be some weird pedophile shit, but it's not. It in the movie, it's not. But like, God, it's so
I can't
weird.
imagine being 7 years old and having access to Penthouse magazine.
Well, later on, that kid like yelled, like, "What do you guys?" He's like, "What did you wish for today, Harry?" Which is the name of our main character. And Harry's like, "To be Happy Christmas" or something like that. And he's like, "What did you kids wish for?" And the girl's like, "I want a pony. I want this." And then kid's like, "I want a subscription to Penthouse magazine." And I was like, that kid just yelled that throughout the neighborhood. I was like, "Who are you?"
He's a hoodlum.
He's Tommy the Penthouse Kid. That's what he's known as, and I wrote that in my notes from here on out. No, he didn't want just a normal subscription. He wanted a lifetime.
Did he say lifetime
Yes, he
subscription?
did.
Oh my
It's
God.
like dream for the stars, Tommy. You'll get it.
And he runs home. Harry runs home and puts that in the book too on the naughty side.
The internet was invented for Tommy.
Yeah.
But this kid's like, he's like, what, 6, 7?
I know, and he's just like on the bed, full like pulling out the centerfold. Is like, his parents not aware that this kid is just perving off in his room like
If
this?
we've learned anything about 80s parents is that they don't exist.
Oh, right. Good
Yeah.
point. Good point.
Well, and the thing is like he asks him what he wants, and in front of all his friends, he's like, a lifetime subscription to Penthouse. I mean, with the other kids, like, what the hell is that?
No, they're like, oh, it's just Penthouse Tommy again.
Oh, that's Tommy.
And Harry's face just like crumples, and he's like, "Oh, Tommy, you," and he gets targeted. Tommy's like the target of Harry.
Oh, he
later.
starts making this like weird, like he's got bad hygiene. He doesn't listen to his parents, blah, blah, blah. And I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
get you, gadget.
and the thing is, like, I got really worried at this point in the movie because I was like, oh, we're about to see a grown man like kill and murder kids.
Well, according to the box, he only murders women, or girls.
According to the box, which is blatantly wrong.
Yes.
But I was like, oh my God. Fortunately, we never see him do anything to a kid. Like, except give them presents and like be happy. But like,
Yeah.
God, this movie has such a weird, like, I was like, oh, this is about to get really disgustingly dark.
But you're right. So he's gotten a promotion at his job. Now he's going to be pushing numbers instead of toy parts on a factory line, and he's so depressed about it.
Well, and that brings me 2 questions. One, what are the rest of his coworkers like that this guy is the guy who gets promoted? Number 2, in the past or in other companies, I don't know, do they just go, you're promoted? Don't you have to say, hey, I'd like to be promoted, or apply, or at least express interest in being promoted? Do they just randomly one day come in and say, you're up?
Maybe he was just the man for the job.
Oh, yeah, man, that speaks a lot to that toy company then.
Anybody interacting with Harry should know that this man is mentally unstable. The signs are there.
Very
they
much.
are in neon lights like flashing above this guy's
Everyone's
head.
checked out in their own lives in this movie, though. Everyone's just focused on what they got to focus on.
There's even a guy on the line who's like, "Hey, Harry, I've got to go with my wife. We're going on a trip. Do you mind filling in and doing the night shift for us?" And
he asked his coworkers, and they're like, "No, not us." And then he's like, "Harry, you wanted to work on the line again, didn't you? Could you fill in for me?" And then Harry goes, like, he says no, right?
No, he basically gets pressured into doing it, but he's the pushover, right?
Right.
He's the pushover of the company.
Because there's like an earlier scene where they're like, oh, which one do you think of us are going to get laid off when the the wintertime, after the holidays, he's like, oh, I didn't know they were talking about layoffs.
Yeah, Harry says that, and I'm like, dude, you're management now.
Right.
You should probably know.
And then the other guy's like, oh, that's because you don't, spend time in line. He's like, yeah, I really missed that. And then they weaponize that against poor Harry and go, hey, remember when you said you missed being on the line? Well, I can't make my night shift. You're up. They don't even ask him. They basically just tell him he's going to go and be on the line.
And we're going to jumble up the plot from here because it gets the order gets very confusing, but basically we see Harry kind of being Harry, just having trouble with it, but then we see him on the line.
And he really seems to not be enjoying himself. For someone who claims to like making toys, he seems miserable.
Well, because he's annoyed that we're making shitty toys.
Oh,
remember, they're making little shitty plastic army or tin soldiers, but they're not tin soldiers. They're like garbage little plastic soldiers. And that's what he's most upset about. He's like, these are trash. Like, we're not doing right by the kids by making this garbage. And so I think he's like checked out because he's like, ugh, look at this garbage we have to make.
All toys from the 80s were trash, Harry. So just, pump your brakes, dude. And
in the Christmas song, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. It comes over the loudspeaker as he's working, and he kind of goes into like Vietnam-esque flashbacks. And it's like, Marines, we are leaving. And it's like, what the hell? And does he cut himself?
He cuts himself.
He squeezes a toy so tight, he cuts his hand on it. And they're like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine.
I can't believe that moment of catching his mother with Santa Claus, aka his dad, is the most traumatic moment of this kid's life.
Yeah, to me that means you've had a pretty good sheltered life, dude. Like, if that's the worst thing that has ever happened to you, good luck. Like, man, God bless.
Well, and we cut to either before or after, we cut to his brother who invites him over every year for Christmas. And this year Harry's like, hey, I'm not going to come over this year. And his brother Phil, or Philip, I can't remember which one it is like talking to his wife, and he's like, that's concerning. Harry never misses this. He loves Christmas. What's going on? And she's like, well, you're always kind of like mean to him. Can you not pick on him this year? Blah, blah. And she's like, that's why he's not coming over.
She's like, have you seen Harry? How can I not be mean to him?
That's what he says. He's like, come on.
Just to add to Harry's psychosis, he's also a peeping Tom. He's looking in on his brother and his wife. Like, there's a moment where he's watching the kids and then they start kissing around the Christmas tree, and it triggers his, like you said, his PTSD.
I think that's because Harry wants the happy Christmas family. Like, he wants the dream, the idealized, like, oh, Christmas is the time for family and everything's happy and people love Santa and blah, blah. And he's vicariously living this. I mean, this is a great time to talk about mental health assistance, but I mean, yes, he is like looking through people's windows and his coworkers and stuff like that to like vicariously like live this Christmas fantasy that he's got idealized in his head. And it's not panning out the way he thinks. Like, he keeps seeing these scenes where like his brother Phil's like yelling at the kids, like, turn that TV down, we're trying to talk. And he gets like real like, oh, that's not Christmas at all. Like, he's really disturbed by not seeing the idealized Norman Rockwell type shit.
Right. He wants the picturesque Christmas time that is, held up to some standard that really doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So what incites him to start building his own Santa Claus outfit?
The armored Santa Claus outfit that he starts making?
Yeah.
I think that's just what he does on like his off time.
He's like bored. Man, somebody should have invented the internet because people had way too much time on their hands in the 80s, apparently.
Somebody did about 8 years later.
I think it's what it is, like the moment at work where he cuts his hand, hearing like Tommy Penthouse yelling, I want a Penthouse subscription. And then
the Penthouse kid.
Penthouse kid. Yeah. And then also seeing his brother's family like kind of dysfunctional a little bit.
But it seemed like a normal family.
Well, because after Harry walks away, like the dad's like, hey, I'm sorry for yelling at you guys. We're just trying to have a conversation. You can turn the TV back on. So it's like, it's fine. It's normal family stuff. But like Harry misses that part. I think all those kind of lead into the point of like, okay, this is the year. People need Santa Claus. They need to be reminded. They want this, is kind of what he says at the end to some characters.
Yeah.
So he goes home and starts making like an armored Santa suit, it looks like, in a workshop of like hanging dolls and the creepy little monkey puppet that goes before they cut away. I was like, that was unnecessary.
Right.
I guess that he's at home making his own toys.
Yes.
Like he's had a schmelting, whatever the hell is he? He's schmelting something in there.
My man schmelting. He schmelted, he dealt it. I couldn't figure out what he was. I was like, is he making silver bullets? Like, what is he doing here? But he's making tin toys. He's making tin soldiers the right way, the way it used to be done.
Like, how would you build that in your apartment or house
Oh,
or
he
wherever the
is-
hell?
That's got to smell terrible.
The landlord's going to be like, what are you doing in there, schmelting?
Definitely not getting his security deposit.
How many times
back.
have we been kicked out of an apartment, Mark, for schmelting?
Countless times. But yeah, he's building the Santa suit. I also did find a little off-putting of just, and maybe this is a different time, different era, but he was so friendly with the neighborhood kids. Like, they knew him by name.
Yeah.
They'd run up and just be like, Harry. He's like, hey, little guys, how you doing? You
But
know?
I feel like I saw that a lot in movies in the past. So I don't know. It must have been not unusual for there to be like a neighborhood
I think it was
friend
kind of
guy.
a different time,
But
too.
this was
where
definitely pre-stranger danger, Dare coming to your school
Yeah.
being like, don't talk to strangers, don't take candy.
Yeah, this is before like the boogeyman. Anybody who's friendly with a kid might potentially, it's like, which is kind of unfortunate. We've gotten to a point where that's the case. But yeah, Harry is super. But I think that's just because he just loves the innocence of the kids and like how they like really love Santa. And they've like they still buy into the magic of Christmas. But yes, he spends a lot of time like solo talking to those kids without the parents. And I'm like, yo, at least be like, hey, like I came to see if your kids wanted any toys for Christmas,
And I think
include the
that's-
families.
Yeah, and I think that's a good segue to just talk a little bit about how, like, you were saying that, oh, this movie's going to be creepy, it's going to be pedophile in nature, but it's totally not, because Harry is like wanting the innocence and the joy of Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if in 1980 when this came out, did they think the same? Like, were they expecting this? Hey, I'm getting your kids.
Even in 1980, you couldn't watch other people's kids with binoculars. That was weird.
That was weird. Like that was still like not okay. I mean, the thing is, I think if like the rest of the neighborhood saw him peeping on their kids, they'd be like, all right, Harry, sit the fuck down. We got to talk.
Yeah, but-
like this stops now, bro.
But I think the friendliness, I don't think would have stood out as something super unusual. I mean, it's so hard
And
to
it seemed
tell.
like a really tight knit community too. Like everyone
Yeah.
seemed to know each other. Everyone seemed to like kind of like talk to each other too. So I think it was just more of the what's the word? I'm looking
time,
for?
yeah, just the
time and
era,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Everyone wasn't terrified of like that constantly happening, which is again, like I said, kind of unfortunate that
Yeah.
you have to like you can't just be like super friendly with kids. You're like, oh hey, what's up, little dude? Give me a high five without parents being like, what the fuck? You're like, whoa.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, it's like just calm down.
That also plays into the like, we were always playing outside, unsupervised, whatever. And now it's like you never see kids outside.
You never see anybody outside. I was watching
We have kids in my neighborhood that play outside, but they stick near their house and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I was
We were
watching-
driving like bikes through like uncharted territory.
Yeah, just like, all right, be back by sundown. It's like, I'm like fucking 7 miles away from my house. But I was watching, a movie from the 70s not that long ago, and it just sort of struck me about just how many people used to just be out in the street. You just like get a chair and just go sit on the sidewalk. It's like, oh, right, they had shit to do. There's no like real television or internet.
I wonder if that's a location thing. I wonder if that happens in other areas.
Yeah, maybe
But I
like,
think with the internet and like
Yeah.
the ability to interact in your home environment and stuff, definitely.
like I travel to New York very regularly, like very frequently, and I don't see people just sitting outside. Like even from when I was a child, I feel like it was more common than it is now.
okay.
It's very weird. Thanks, internet.
But back to the movie though, like I was very glad the movie like did make a point of just making him like very like just innocence friendly
Yeah.
with the kids.
He doesn't harm any children.
Except he has that one weird thing where he has that picture of that little girl and he's like, oh, little Susie, you don't need to see this, where he writes down like Penthouse Moss's like name in the book or something like that. And I was like, that's fucking weird. But again, you never actually see any of that play out.
Right.
Which I was glad. I was
Same.
like, dude, I did not want to watch this in a movie.
So we're getting to the point where, Harry's going through these events. It's lessening his Christmas spirit, if you will. He finds the guy who he worked the night shift. He's at a bar and he's drinking with his buddy. He's not off on holiday with his wife like he claimed to be.
Oh, was that the same dude?
Yeah, that was the guy who
So
was
he just
like,
didn't
work
wanna
for
work
me. Yeah,
that
he's just
night.
like, he wanted to go fuck up and have a beer.
Yeah, he's just pushing. He's using Harry as a pushover. Not, they obviously didn't invite him out to the beer gathering thing.
Yeah, exactly. I need somebody to fill in so we can have a beer with the boys. And then there's a Christmas party, a work Christmas party where he's dressed up in a suit. He's coming in. They're like, you're management now, Harry. How's it going? And he's like, he's getting introduced to the new marketing guy. And he's catching on that there's some sort of disingenuous plan of donating toys to needy kids, but the business doesn't want to do it. They want to put it all on the workers.
Yeah, they were claiming to donate toys, and they're like, if you feel, inspired, donate your own money in toys. That was the only money they were actually going to donate, was whatever the
Yeah,
employees.
it wasn't like you do this and we'll match you double or
Yeah.
anything. It was just like whatever you donate goes to it. And
Yeah, because
that's-
didn't Harry say like how many kids are there? How many toys are you donating? And they're like, we don't know. And he's like, so wait, some kids may not get toys? And I was like, that was pretty smart. Like, like only some kids will get toys. And he's like, no, you got to bring enough toys for everyone at that hospital. Yeah. So some kids don't get stuff for Christmas. And that's when he finds out that it's kind of like a scam.
Yeah. Is this where there's like a 3.5 minute dance number? Or is that later?
This is like where the office party goes full rager.
Yeah.
And like Harry leaves.
Harry excuses himself and goes back to the toy factory, turns the line on and starts trashing things and then stealing
He steals all the toys
That's
first.
right.
They're all falling off the line and breaking and shit. And then he just starts putting them in a sack. He's like, fuck you. If you're not going to give kids the toys, I'll do it myself.
He takes all the wrapped ones. This dude is adamant about quality toys.
Right.
Almost like he is a toy man of the people.
So he gets full Santa suited up and he's painted his white van to have a sleigh on it.
Yes.
This guy is on the edge of being, we should be worried.
And he glues his beard onto himself.
I couldn't tell if he glued his beard on or not, but he was yanking on. I thought he was just like really into it, but then I realized like, oh my God, he stuck that to his face.
No, he glued that shit on. He was becoming Santa.
Because doesn't his brother call at that point and is like, why aren't you coming over? And he's like, I just have stuff I have to do. I'm not coming over. And then he goes,
yeah, that was Christmas Day. So this is all happening right before that point.
And then he says, doesn't he say like the line of like, there's a proverb that basically says like, like every day you shave, you see yourself 1 day closer to death.
Oh yeah, he does say it. And I was like, I don't really know what that means. Is it because you're looking in the mirror?
I guess because you're cutting the hair off. You're undoing the progress of each day.
Well, me and the brother were both very confused by what the fuck this guy was talking about.
What the fuck are you talking about, Harry?
But the thing is, the brother knew at this point, okay, Harry's messed up. Harry's got some mental stuff. We should be concerned.
The brother should have acted well before this point.
Yeah.
Well, his wife was kind of like, no, that's just how Harry is. He's like, no, Harry's always had issues. And she's like, yeah, it'll be fine. And it's like, I think he knows.
And now in full Santa regalia, he is going to, I guess, the other employees' homes, breaking in and stealing their toys. Do you remember that? He goes into a house and he's got a knife and he's like taking the toys from under the tree.
Oh, that's for like one of the bad families that like,
Right,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
probably,
naughty kids lose toys. Good kids get toys.
So Tommy the Penthouse Kid lost all his Christmas
he went and
presents.
stole, because the thing is, he goes into Tommy the Penthouse Kid's house and I was like, uh-oh, here we go. This is where we see a kid get murdered by Santa Claus. And I was like, this is going to be crazy. No, he just steals all the toys and he's like, I'm out. You get nothing, Tommy.
The irony is the toys were just bundles of penthouses.
So all the kids in the hospital got a bunch of penthouses.
Parents not only knew about it, they encouraged Tommy's penthouse habit and supplied the penthouses.
You want to encourage your kids' interests.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tommy's just very comfortable with his and other people's sexualities. He would not have snapped if he saw Santa and Mommy getting it on.
He's like,
You're
issue
right.
34, I seen this.
Yeah.
Tommy was armed to see Santa eating out his mom.
Yeah, he was ready to go. He would have just been like, oh yeah, all right, I'm going to write a penthouse letter about this.
Dear Penthouse Forums, I never thought it could happen to me.
Yeah.
Hi, Penthouse. It's Tommy the Kid again with another tale.
Oh, God, no.
He's a regular.
Regular contributor, Tommy the Penthouse
I like to
Kid.
think there's like, how in the Marvel, Stan Lee would just write a little note, at the end of the letters, like the penthouse, is it Larry, whatever the fuck his name is.
Flynn.
Larry Flynn's like, that's our Tommy.
We'll see you next month, Tommy.
Yeah.
So anyway, Harry takes all the toys that he stole from the toy factory and from Tommy's house and pulls up to the hospital that they were going to donate the toys to, which you find out was a scam and hardly anybody was going to get any toys.
Right.
And playing into the cliche, the oldest man alive is going to be your security guard.
Like the guy from Hobgoblins is the guy pictured. but-
Wanders up and he's like, what are you doing here, weirdo? Why are you dressed like Santa Claus?
And Harry doesn't play the whole like, hey, I'm dressed as Santa Claus, brought some toys to the kid. He goes, whoa, I'm Saint Nick, I'm on a time frame. You're like, whoa, bro.
This security guard was so old. If Tommy had just waited 5 minutes, he probably was going to die. I mean, he was like 90 years old.
The security guard's like, you stop right there. Don't you move. And then he's like, here, have a present. And the old guy's like, hold on a minute. Let me see if I can get you in. I was like, if that's all it takes, oh my God.
You've warmed my old heart.
A little bribery goes a long way.
And they send out two people who you think are going to like take Harry away because you're like, oh man, they came out and they're like, what's going on out here, sir? Are you okay? And he's like, I brought toys for all the kids, but you're going to need more people. And then he opens up the back of the van and it's packed full of toys.
I thought he was going to kill that security guard.
It's a fucking Toys R Us pop-up station.
I thought he was going to kill that guy
they
too.
filmed it like Harry was going to kill this, and I was like, oh, I don't want to watch an old person
That's
get
the thing
killed.
is you're waiting this whole movie, like Harry's snapped. Harry's going to start killing. And you're like, he doesn't. He just wants to be Santa Claus until a certain point.
Right. So then, to your point, it's like the 7 trillion toys are in this van. It's just packed from front to back, floor to ceiling with toys.
And I was feeling actually kind of bad for Harry at this point, and I was happy for him. I was like, this is his moment of like, hey, I'm getting my recognition. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
The warmth is in my heart. The Christmas spirit is alive and well.
He hasn't killed any kids. I was like,
or adults. Hasn't killed anybody.
Yeah, he's just being Santa.
So then he rolls up to a church. Why did he go to this church? Because the businessman, the marketing ploy guy was in there.
Right. It's a midnight mass.
Yeah. So it was like a Catholic thing, on Christmas Eve, they all show up to do mass, right? So he rolls in there and then everybody just starts laughing at him. Oh, look at you, Mr. Santa Claus. Why don't you come on upstairs?
They all come down the stairs.
And once again, does this shit happen in real life? I don't imagine if someone saw a Santa on the street, they'd be like, let's all laugh at him.
Well, 4 people walk up.
If
Two
it
guys.
was July, that would make sense.
Right.
Let's make fun of the Santa Claus. But it's literally Christmas Eve. You'd be like, hey, right on. What's up, Santa?
They'd probably be like, hey, kids, it's Santa. No.
There was no kids at this midnight mass. It was only adults. And these 2 guys and their wives walk down. And they're like, oh, what are you doing here, Santa? They start taunting and picking on Santa. I was like, why would you ever do that? It's Christmas. It's Christmas Eve.
Well, because they are dicks.
And they get hatcheted to the head.
No, it wasn't
The
that.
first guy gets a tin soldier, one of his schmelted tin soldiers, right in the eyeball, and we see his eye squirt.
That
which
was
so
awesome.
gross. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, right in the eye. And everybody's just looking in shock. Like, is this really happening right now?
A group of like 30 people.
And then hatchet. Like, where did he get the hatchet?
Out of his sack, out of his magic
Yeah.
sack.
Just happened to have it.
Well, I think he was prepared in case he had a hatchet, a motherfucker. He had it. He was
I
bringing
think he
it
had
in.
a good kids and a bad kids hack.
Yeah, so you never know when Santa needs to hatchet.
It's true. When
Yeah,
gets
he
caught in
hatchets
the-
that guy straight down in the head.
He hatches 3 people.
It's amazing.
He hatches 3 people, and one of them gets stabbed in the eye, and it's just like, oh my God. And then he gets in his van and drives off. And this was one of my favorite parts because he's in his van driving off after the kill, and he's like, on Donner, on Blitzen, on. And he's smacking the steering wheel and jerking it back and forth. I was like, you should not jerk the wheel in snow like that, dude.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
just
crash your
hatchet
car.
somebody, dude. You got to make a getaway.
He would have crashed his sleigh.
But when he's like, he's like, you can hear like the whip crack and the hooves kind of in like the subtle background. So you can tell he's like hearing it in his mind.
It's a good bit of editing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then he goes and he starts peeping in on this club, bar,
Okay.
something. Yeah. And this is where they're having a Christmas party and he's doing his old peeping shit again. And they're like, hey, it's fucking Santa. Come on in,
Right.
Santa. Let's have a good time.
And he's
This
like,
is the
no.
correct reaction.
That's what I was
when you
gonna
see a
think,
Santa
yeah.
Claus on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, these are regular people.
And they're having like a hoedown in there. And you're right. There's a 4-minute scene of Harry dancing with a little girl, like having a good old time. And he's like, Merry Christmas. I'm on back to the North Pole. Y'all see you next year, you know, or whatever the hell.
What's weird about that is like, it looks like an adult office party, right? And they're all dancing, they're polka
Yeah.
Christmasing, and like, they're like, come on in, have a drink. And he has a sip and he's like, thanks. And then out of nowhere, you hear Santa, and all these kids come running out fully dressed. I was like, I guess kids are just up at midnight, at
I
this
feel
point.
like when I was a kid, I'd sometimes be up at midnight. And
On Christmas Eve, we had to go to bed early, so my parents had time to put everything under the tree and still get some sleep before the next morning because they knew we were getting up at like 5 a.m. Like, yo, can we go? Let's go. Come on. But like these kids run out, and then he like gives them gifts, and he's like,
I want you to remember to stay good boys and girls. Respect your mothers and fathers and do what they tell you. Obey your teachers and learn a whole lot. Now, if you do this, I'll make sure you get good presents from me every year. But if you're bad boys and girls, your name goes in the bad boys and girls book, and I'll bring you something horrible.
he laughs, and everyone's like, oh, that's Saint Nick.
Yeah, then they'll laugh and they're like, yeah, what he said, bad shit'll happen.
And then he's like, I'm off to the North Pole.
Then he goes to what I assume to be the house of the guy that made him fill in on the line, and then he was off having a beer.
Yes.
he's trying to go down the chimney trick, and I was like, oh no, Harry's going to die in the chimney. This is how this movie's going to end.
He just gets stuck.
I was like, this is a prequel to Gremlins.
At this point, confession time on YouTube, I did put it at 1.5 speed and watch him get to that house a little bit faster. Because it was like everything was like a little bit sped up. I was like, this movie feels like it's taking forever.
It really is super slow.
The moment he got to that chimney, though, I was like, play normal speed. This is going to be, I was like, he's going to get caught. I was like, we all seen Gremlins.
And I felt really bored watching this movie, but also didn't want to not watch it. And I don't know how that happened. But I'd just be like, really, nothing has happened for 5 minutes.
Just Santa being Santa.
Yeah, we just watched a grown man dance with a child. It was like someone's home video I just watched. And I'm like, what is... I kept expecting it to cut away, but no.
But the thing that's weird, though, is it really did, like, every time Harry was on, like, you knew Harry was messed up. But every time Harry was on the screen being Santa, you're like, he's making everyone happy.
Well, except for the people he hatcheted.
Except for the people he hatcheted. But like whenever he's like legit just being Santa, you're just like, he's being a good Santa.
So against the VHS box description, he's not punishing children.
No.
He's like punishing the bad parents.
He's punishing bad adults who like are negatively affecting the Christmas spirit, I guess.
Yeah. So he goes in.
If you're ruining the holiday, you're getting ruined.
And he takes his toy sack and he starts suffocating the guy in his bed right next to his wife. I was like, how would she not hear this?
Well, we skip the part where he got stuck in the chimney. Because he tries to go down the chimney. He gets stuck because his costume's too fat. And I was like, he's going to be there till morning. I thought we were done. I thought that was the end of the movie. And then, no, he pulls himself back out, sneaks inside. And who is this guy again? This is the guy he works with?
It's the guy who tricked him to work for him so he can go have a drink. And honestly, I think Harry's punishment, this is like a Cole level offense, not a suffocate a man in bed level offense. But no, and then his wife like finally turns around and finds him dead. But to Mark's point, how would she not have heard this man struggle or felt him wiggling? I mean, I guess they had a cool Tempur-Pedic mattress.
I think they had separate beds.
I thought they were in one bed.
It was one whole bed.
One bed?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes no sense because he was full on flailing.
She's very heavy. Oh,
she's a heavy sleeper.
Did they have Ambien in 1980?
He's doing a terrible job of suffocating him.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe
off screen, but he's doing a really bad job at it. So to finish the job, he takes a Christmas tree star and slashes his neck, and then the body falls on the wife, and then she can't muster up a scream.
That's silent, like she's trying to scream and nothing's coming out. Like I felt that. I was like, oh God, she is like, just woke up to the scariest thing she can possibly imagine.
But then Harry exits the room, runs into the children, has a pretty brief conversation, and then she finds her breath to start yelling her brains out. It's like,
right as he's about to give him, like, right before he's got to give him gifts, like, oh, here you go. Like, she screams, he freaks out and runs away. And this is where shit goes bananas.
Yeah, we're off the rails at this point. The news is now starting to broadcast, hey, there's somebody in a Santa suit murdering.
The cops are doing lineups with all these different Santa Clauses. And then I love the Santa Claus lineup because there's this guy who's like 7 foot tall, a bunch of like an old guy who looks like he can barely walk. And then there's a black Santa. and I think the black Santa was like, this is ridiculous. And I was like, my man's got a point.
Yeah, I love the phrase Santa Claus lineup.
So many of these don't fit the bill other than they're wearing a Santa suit.
Right.
So this is done because the cops are now alerting people. The media is all like, if you see a Santa, be aware, So yeah, it's Christmas Day. All that stuff went down on Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Day. He has a conversation with his brother on the phone, right, Mark?
Yeah, his brother's like, Harry should have come over by now. He always comes over. We have our dinner and then whatever. And Harry calls him and he's like, I'm not coming over this time. I've got stuff to do.
I think Phil at this point thinks that he's the killer Santa.
Do you think he already?
Yeah, because I think he's like, I know Harry, this is not right. Something's going on. And at this point, they've seen the news because they were actually watching the news before that phone call happens. And it's like, avoid all Santas. There's a killer Santa on the loose.
Avoid all Santa. There's a horror movie name for you.
I like it.
And I think Phil's like, this might be Harry. Like he might be somewhere involved.
Wasn't his wife also like, yeah, Harry could definitely be a fucking Santa murderer.
But he's trying to entice him over. He's like, come on, the kids really want to see you. They want to see their Uncle Harry. He's like, no, I got stuff to do. I'm busy. And then just click, like hangs up.
Then we're at the night.
He's still in full Santa costume.
Yeah, he's in like in a West Side Story like set, like in an alley. And these kids run around the corner and are like, Santa, Santa. And he's like, oh, hi, kids. And he's like going to give them gifts. And the parents walk around the corner like, oh my God, our kids are with a Santa.
Well, he's also covered in blood, too.
Yes. He's
Like,
got.
why are you so dirty?
Yeah, the one of the kids is like, Santa, your suit's dirty. He's like, oh, I've had a very busy day, very busy night. And then at this point, the parents are like, one of the parents pulls a knife and is like, that's the killer Santa. We're going to get away from our kids. And then the wives are like, no, like you'll hurt our kids. We don't know what he'll do with the kids because he's kind of using the kids as like a human shield at this point.
Well, they did that themselves.
They start
The kids
defending Santa.
they became the human shield for Santa against their parents. It's like, what is this movie trying to say?
It's like the Care Bears stare to their parents. They're
You're
like,
not hurting Santa, Dad.
back off him.
Yeah, I feel like as a kid, I would not have sided with a random Santa over my parents.
How many pictures of kids screaming sitting on Santa's lap? There's
Yeah.
no way kids are like, yeah, this random stranger
they're like-
Santa, let's go.
They're forming ranks, getting into platoons.
And there's like a tussle, and the dad drops the knife, and this little 6-year-old girl grabs the pocket knife and then hands it to Harry.
Switchblade. It's a switchblade.
Yeah, Switchblade is like, here, Santa, fuck my dad up.
It's the knife to Santa.
Yeah, the dad's like, give me that knife. She's like, no. She's so offended.
I have a note that says, well, this took a turn fast.
Yeah, dude.
Makes you wonder, what kind of father is that man? He must be just a monster.
Yeah, kill my dad.
And the thing is, the wife is like, no, you might accidentally hit our daughter who's in front of this Santa with your knife. And he's like, I got this. And I was like, dude, your kid is right there. Calm down.
He's like, that is a risk I'm willing to take.
So Santa with the switchblade tries to run off, gets in a little bit of a hand-to-hand tussle with the guy who originally had the knife, the New York dad, if you will. And the knife gets dropped. And as he's running away, one of the wives like cuts his cheek with like a brooch or something like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So he's got like a little cut on his cheek. So at this point, they're going to know which Santa's which. There's now evidence of which Santa is the killer Santa. This is where he goes over to his brother Phil's house now.
And his brother opens the door. He's like, oh, shit, it's you. You've been doing this.
And is this where there's a scene of like the town marching with torches?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the parents that got in the tussle with him in the alley started a goddamn mob with torches and
He's saying,
pitchforks.
he's not getting out of our neighborhood. And they've got dipped in oil torches with rags. And you're
This
just
is
like,
literal Frankenstein like level shit at the end of that classic.
Where did they get torches? If someone was like, you need a torch right now, I'd be like, I'm fucked. I gotta make one. Like, hold on, let me get the.
They had a stash ready to go.
If they all had torches, like
What
This
the movie-
neighborhood was ready to riot.
What the movie doesn't tell you that Tommy the Penthouse Kid's dad is Kenny the Kerosene Man.
oh, okay.
So they're always ready.
I knew it was a good idea to buy this torch.
So yeah, they chase him through the streets of New York for what seems like forever.
He
Yeah.
ends up in a suburb, and when he slips in the street and falls, that's actually a real slip.
Oh, and they just
According to
kept it.
IMDb, yeah, he just kept it in the movie, but he actually really slipped and busted his ass.
Why not? Show the pain, right?
Yeah.
Get it on there.
Well,
But
all the snow was evidently all the snow you see in the air and stuff like that was just cut up plastic bags.
it didn't look real.
It was like shredded
It looked
plastic
like
bags.
fake snow.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Think how many poor sea turtles that fucking movie just killed. The 80s were wild. Just cut up plastic bags and throw them in the sky, whatever.
No problems here.
Because I guess the fans would blow it pretty easy and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So they chase him all the way to Phil's house. He ends up at Phil's house.
Well, he loses the mob.
Yes.
So he's inside the house, and now Harry's like, it's all your fault, like you're saying at the beginning of this episode. Apparently, he blames his brother more than anybody else for the Santa Claus shit.
Yeah, because the brother's like, I'm sorry that you saw what you saw, but it's not the end of the world.
Grow
it was
up.
just dad, and then Harry's like, no, it's not that. It's because you said Santa didn't exist, and this is what the people want. This is what they need. People want this Christmas spirit, and I'm giving it to them, and they don't actually want it. Like, he's upset and disillusioned. He's like, why would they not want me being a creepy, weird Santa who kills people?
People are chasing me with torches. I don't understand.
His brother, what I assumed turns out to be wrong, he chokes Harry, what I thought would be to death.
I thought so too.
Yes,
Because he
I
then
also
drags
thought
him
that.
outside down the stairs and puts him back in his van. And I was like, well, that resolved
Yeah,
itself.
so knowing
Nothing happened here, just a dead Santa Claus in this van.
that he didn't kill them, why did he drag them back to the van? What was his plan?
I
think it
guess so
was
the
like-
mob could find him there, I guess.
Yeah, like, oh, he just died in the van after he parked here or something. I don't know. But what do? You just murdered your brother. Like, go back to the
you
van.
murdered your brother who was a killer Santa.
Yeah. I mean, I think he probably would have had a pretty solid self-defense case. He
I
had,
don't know. His life wasn't in danger.
we had a
It was
mob
just-
of witnesses who probably would have been like, yeah, that guy, mad killer, had to kill him.
Yeah, okay.
There's ways around it.
The court case would have been interesting. Let's say that.
Yeah.
They would have thrown, the city versus Philip out of the courts for sure. But he's not dead, and he like socks him real good. Harry socks his brother.
He just swings his arm outright and knocks Phil like clean off his feet. And I was like, what a great side punch.
Drives his van away, and the mob is caught up with him now.
Yes.
They've marched miles.
With these torches.
It's like we said, we're in the inner city West Side Story, New York. Now we're in the fucking suburbs. You know what I mean? They've walked forever.
I was hoping, not really, but it would have been great if there was a battle between the kids and their parents. The kids formed a counter mob.
One into the streets, the kids with torches, the other one's the parents, and Santa's in the middle.
Yeah.
Hey ho, parents gotta go. Hey ho. Like, man, that would have been great.
Santa's like, there can be only one.
Right. It would be like the Power Rangers movie. Anyway.
And then the movie just, I was so impressed with this ending. At the same time, I was like, just what the fuck? So
the
why don't you
van-
bring it home?
Okay, so, and I may remember this wrong, but the van almost hits the mob out to get him because at this point, Harry as Santa is driving off, and then he almost hits his brother Phil. And then I guess like right next to their house is a overpass bridge, because he almost hits Phil and then he swerves to miss Phil and then drives off the side of a bridge.
Yes.
And right before he hits Phil, you see Phil roll down the hill into some boxes in the bottom of a ravine. I'm like, what random ravine has all these empty brown boxes in it?
Great question.
But clearly there to protect Phil from falling into a tree, I'm sure. But like you see the Harry's van, his Christmas sleigh van, jump off the side of a bridge. And there's a lot of contention on this. Some people think that he flew off into the air like Santa. And then some people think that he drove it off and his car crashed and exploded. And in actuality, it crashed and exploded because you hear the explosion in the background.
Oh, do you?
Yes, you actually.
so
a lot of people think it's him, Phil, running into the boxes, but it's actually the van exploding, and that's been confirmed, I guess.
Okay. Well, listeners, the movie freeze frames with it in the air, and you hear ho ho ho. So it's like, did he literally just get Santa powers and flew his van away?
I would have preferred that ending, but I think Garrett's right. It crashes and he dies.
Sorry to ruin them.
I'm sorry, there is no Christmas magic. It's not around.
And then that's it. Smash cut to black, and we're
The
done.
end.
And that's this movie. And guys, this movie isn't good, but I like it.
I know.
And
I don't
know
understand.
why.
I agree 100% with what you're feeling. And here's why I think it is. I don't think it's a horror movie. I understand that he kills people, but I honestly think it's like closer to a thriller or like a psychological drama. You're just sort of watching this human being unravel over 2 days. It doesn't feel very horror-y, but it does feel very interesting.
Well, the director, writer, Lewis Jackson, evidently came up with the idea for this. One day he got really high and thought he saw a Santa holding a knife and came up with the idea for this movie.
I could see that.
According to IMDb, that's his backstory of how he thought up this character.
Well, that's literally one of the images of the VHS. It's just a Santa hand with a knife in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do think all the marketing for this movie way overplays how much of a slasher it is, which really sets people up for disappointment.
Well, that's what's the thing is everyone was like, oh, this got cashed in because Halloween came out before this, but evidently he wrote this and was doing it before Halloween was created. So a lot of people claim this as banking in on the slasher craze that happened after Halloween, but evidently he had written it and everything like that beforehand. He does not consider this to be a slasher flick. He considers it to be something like just completely different. More
Someone
just like
should tell all the marketing people then.
well, they knew what they were marketing.
Yeah.
They were like, people love this. It's the same reason we see like, in a world, you're like, oh boy.
So I'm curious then, based on these Rotten Tomato reviews, we've got 6 of them from the critics giving it an 83%. Now, conversely, maybe what John is saying is true. 31% with the audience. That's a huge gulf.
It is
I wonder if, like he said, it's not so much a horror movie. Maybe people going in think it's going to be one and they get the other.
Right. If you sat down and put this movie on or like, oh, sweet, I'm going to watch a Christmas horror movie. Really, the first death in the movie is well over an hour in.
And I feel like that's why we were so surprised with it. It seemed like a really weird, bizarre thing. And then it changed tone like 3 different times. And then it just kind of becomes this like Christmas trip into mental degradation. And you're like, what the hell is going on?
Well, I give kudos to Brandon Maggart, who played Harry. He did a great job of just being intensely unnerving throughout the entirety of the film.
Agreed.
This one also was originally titled You Better Watch Out and is also known as Terror in Toyland in some
Terror in
regions.
Toyland. That's a good title, but I don't think it fits this movie.
I do feel like there's something about really like C-level horror movies that go through name changes like crazy. You're never like, The Conjuring in other places known as The Gathering. Like, no, it's just called The Conjuring. Like, very weird.
So I did go ahead and try to dig up some more VHS back of the boxes, and all of them say the same fucking thing.
Really?
So it's all, God, you back of the box writers need to get your shit together.
They must have been playing off the whole slasher thing, like he's out to get girls, last girl standing type thing.
Yeah.
Because that's not what this is about.
Maybe they fell asleep and we're just like, I don't know, man. I'm not watching this movie again. Just write something.
I did doze off at one point in this movie. I had to wake up and rewind it, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie to our listeners. There are parts of it that are very boring, but it's still a compelling watch, I think.
I would recommend it.
I agree. I agree with the caveat of understand that despite what you'll think, see, and people are trying to market it as, it's not a slasher film. It's not a very traditional horror film, but it's still a good film.
Like a psychological kind of violent horror. Not violent. It gets violent, but like all the violence is off screen, really.
Mostly, yeah. You see 3-4 kills on screen, if that.
Well, the hatchet stuff is off screen until they fall down dead. The eye thing, we see the guy.
You see the eye. You do see a hatchet in a head.
Yeah, we see a hatchet in the head one time.
And then he strangles.
We see the throat cut.
Yeah.
But we don't see that actually get cut, do we? See like him just laying there with his neck open.
Yeah, there's only probably 3 or 4 actual on-screen violence.
Yeah. And none against kids, none against like elderly, none against like working people. I mean, it was just like it was like shitty people got their comeuppance.
You can do worse on Christmas.
You could also do
looking
better.
for a horror movie.
If you burn through the other typical horror Christmas horror movies, yeah, this is definitely I can see why John Waters recommends it.
Yes.
So this one did get a 4K Blu-ray release.
What?
And it does have a amended box. On the back of the box, the description is much more in line with the actual movie. Also has 2 commentary tracks from Lewis Jackson, some deleted scenes in the original theatrical trailer, actor screen tests, and short storyboards and etc. That was brought to us by Vinegar Syndrome. I've not heard of them, but that's out there.
Maybe. Is that a website or?
I'm just reading the back of the box. So
some production company. That's cool. I don't imagine this movie really needing or looking well at 4K, to be honest, but hey, I'm glad it's out there.
So you can check it out. I'm interested. I'd actually like to maybe hear some of the commentary tracks from the director. That could be entertaining.
It'd be interesting to hear the director and John Waters chat. I think to get a better idea of why John Waters finds this so appealing. But
wait, did you say John Waters had a
yes.
Oh,
so that's
okay.
on there too.
Oh, dude, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. So it's out there. It sounds like 3 recommendations, maybe not top of the list, but something to watch if you're looking for something more. It's definitely more Christmas themed than say Black Christmas.
If you're burning, if you're burning through the Christmas movies, this is definitely one that should make it on if you're looking for horror stuff.
Well, listeners, have you seen this movie? What did you think of it? Why don't you let us know on our social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also find more GraveTalk podcast content at www.thegravetalk.com. Hope everyone has a happy holiday and a happy new year, and we'll see you in 2020. Take care.